Most valuable U.S. space rarest prints. The 1993 Space Fantasy stamp was issued to attract younger customers. Designed to look like 1930s science fiction comics. You will see two people depicted, a man and a woman, then pushed by rockets towards space. Their spacesuits. They are reminiscent of science fiction heroes from comics, of the radio, of cinema and television. On background, a circle that can represent either a sun, what a moon. Bottom right, the nominal value of the piece, 29 cents of the US dollar. This stamp is part of a series consisting of 5 pieces, commemorating science fiction and the universe. Piece released on January 25, 1993. It had a circulation of 8,731,000 copies, with an 11 perforation. Today a sheet containing 10 of these stamps is worth $14. The 1993 Flying Saucer stamp is part of the series issued to commemorate and dream of the science fiction of the future. Designed to attract new customers of young ages, you will be able to see flying saucers represented, each of which symbolizes a domed flying city that travels in the solar system, through planets and stars. Piece issued and wanted by US Space and Rocket Center in Huntsville, in Alabama. It is a museum that displays rockets and spacecraft components of the U.S. space program. Bottom right, the nominal value of the piece is reported, 29 cents of the US dollar. Commemorative stamp was released on January 25, 1993. It had a circulation of 8,731,000 copies, with an 11 serration. Today a sheet containing 10 of these pieces is worth $15. The 2016 Jupiter stamp. It was issued to honor the work done by NASA of space exploration in the solar system. You will be able to see the planet Jupiter depicted, name taken from the Roman king of the gods. It is the 5th most distant planet from the Sun. It is composed of gas that take on different color bands, containing ammonia and chemicals still unknown today. One day, on this planet it lasts 10 hours. Its atmosphere is composed of hydrogen and helium. This representation comes from a photo taken by the New Horizons spacecraft, which left Earth in 2006. He reached on his way the planet Pluto in 2015. Top left, the name of the planet, Jupiter. Bottom right, the year the stamp was printed, 2016. Piece released on May 31, 2016. It had a circulation of 40 million copies, with a value of 47 cents of the US dollar, and a 16 perforation. Today a sheet containing 10 of these pieces is worth $30. The 1993 Space Shuttle stamp set were issued to replace priority mail stamps, which depicted an eagle and Olympic rings. Once the competition is over, the United States no longer sponsored the Olympics, and it was expressly requested to issue new stamps that they settled in space. You will in fact be able to see space science imaginary in the future. A spaceship flying over a planet. On background, you will be able to see another planet. Bottom right, the nominal value of the piece, $2.90. This quatrain released on June 3, 1993. It had a circulation of millions of copies, with an 11 by 10.5 perforation. Today a sheet containing 4 of these pieces, worth $50. The 4-piece set from 1992 depicts the contribution of the United States of America and the Soviet Union that they gave to space exploration. The Apollo-Soyuz mission. It was the first collaboration between the two countries. Then in 1975, thanks to the docking of the Apollo spacecraft and the Soviet Soyuz capsule, they merged in orbit around the Earth, allowing the exchange of the two crews inside the two spaceships. A mission which unified the fort and tough competition that had existed in the past years among the United States of America and the Soviet Union. You will in fact be able to see the success of this experiment in orbit. Astronauts trying to shake hands as a sign of peace. Under The two spaceships. Down. The nominal value of the piece. 29 cents of the US dollar. With the year of commemoration of this event. 1992. At the time. US postal officials. They met with Soviet postal officials. They wanted to give a positive image in the international philately market. They agreed together. Who to entrust the drawings to. And what the stamps were supposed to represent. Everything was decided. Until the end of 1992. With the collapse of the Soviet Union. The issuing of these stamps risked being blocked. An unexpected event that didn't happen. Thanks to the continuous dialogue between the postal authorities of the two countries. The issue was made in 1992 in both countries. With a circulation of 37,315,000 copies. And an 11 serration. Today this quatrain printed on a sheet containing 10 of these pieces. Worth $69. The 1988 tariff stamp. It was issued due to the increase in the face value of the piece. From 22 cents to 25 cents of the US dollar. At first collectors didn't like undenominated stamps. So does the Post Office Department. Decided that as the face values on the pieces increased, a letter should also be depicted. That symbolized or reminded us of something. In this case, the letter and, which you can see shown at the top left, indicates the word Earth, which is the image shown on this stamp. The Earth seen from the moon. We're North America. It is visible among the swirling white clouds, while space is depicted by blue-colored bands. Yellow. It's red. The increase in nominal value. It became necessary for the various tariffs, which were to be applied to the various mail delivery services. Down. The written Earth, Domestic USA. Postage stamp issued on March 22, 1988. It had a circulation of 473 million copies. With an 11 serration. Today a sheet containing 50 of these pieces. Worth $92. The 1981 Columbia STS-1 Space Mission stamp sheet. It was issued in a limited edition. Were printed a month after the Columbia STS-1 mission. The first space mission of the Space Shuttle program. In which the two pilot astronauts, John Young and Robert Crippen, participated in the space program's first orbit launch. The objective was to test the launch phase and landing of this new spacecraft. On this sheet, you will be able to see the image of the Earth, with the spacecraft orbiting around us. To the left, astronaut spacesuit. This sheet was mechanically signed by the two astronauts. You will be able to see their signatures above. Each piece is nominally worth 18 cents of the US dollar. And today a sign sheet, which depicts the complete image 6 times. It's worth $150. The 1989 moon landing stamp depicts the moment when the United States, they won the space race. Astronaut Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin. They landed the lunar module Eagle on the surface of the moon. And they stared at the ground. The flag of the United States of America. A moment of great pride and victory for the country. Top left. The nominal value of the piece. $2.40. This commemorative stamp, which marks the 20th anniversary of the moon landing, occurred in 1969. It had been issued to pay the first-class mail rate. With this piece it was possible to ship heavy items between 12 ounces and 2 pounds. And delivery was guaranteed in 2 days. Postage stamp issued on July 20, 1989. It had a circulation of 30,630,000 copies. With an 11 by 11.5 serration. Today a sheet containing 20 of these specimens. It's worth $195. The 1995 Challenger stamp depict the space shuttle, taken from the photo taken by astronaut Bruce McCandless while carrying out an extravehicular activity. The Space Shuttle Challenger was part of the STS-7 mission, made up of 7 people. Of a woman, Sally Laughs, who effectively became the first American woman in space. This mission, unfortunately, it ended with a bad episode. After 73 seconds of flight, the spaceship It disintegrated due to a fault. None of the crew survived. To the left, you will be able to see the Earth. Bottom right, the nominal value of the piece, $3. Commemorative stamp. Was released on June 22, 1995. With a circulation of 100 million copies. And with an 11 perforation. Today a sheet containing 20 of these pieces is worth $225. The 1998 Atlantis stamp depicts the space shuttle Atlantis on landing. Fourth space shuttle of the United States of America. Then in 1985 began his first mission, named STS-51J, was tasked with delivering a satellite to allow communications with the Department of Defense. Atlantis. He returned home successfully. During his space career, the space shuttle participated in 33 missions. In all its activities it brought 191 astronauts into orbit. It traveled 202 million kilometers and was used for 26 years by NASA. Top right. The nominal value of the piece is reported $3.20. Stamp released on November 9, 1998. It was used to pay postage for deliveries via priority mail. It had a circulation of 245 million copies, with an 11.5 perforation. Today a sheet containing 20 of these specimens. It's worth $300. The 2022 Space Telescope stamp depicts the James Webb Space Telescope, the most powerful ever launched into space. That from 2022. Work to discover and take photos at higher resolution quality and allow astronomers the possibility of studying stars and galaxies. The name of the telescope is taken over by the administrator in NASA, James Webb, who held his role for 7 years, from 1961 to 1968. This telescope is composed of various instruments, rooms, sensors, and so on. On the center, you will be able to see the space telescope. In the background a starry space landscape. Lower left, the year of printing, 2022. To the right, the name of the telescope. Stamp released on September 8, 2022. Has a face value of 60 cents of the US dollar. 30 million copies. They were printed without perforations. And today one of these pieces can be worth up to $419. The stamp of the first moon landing in 1994 was issued to commemorate the 25th anniversary of the successful landing of the Apollo 11 mission. This stamp has a face value of $9.95. But the population complained because it was too expensive to use as a stamp for sending mail. So the Post Office Department later issued the same piece, same image, but with a significantly lower nominal value, 29 cents. You will be able to see the 2 astronauts on the moon, saluting the US flag. On background, the lunar module, together with planet Earth. A peculiarity about this stamp. It's about the spacesuit. The one represented did not belong to the Apollo 11 mission. This piece symbolizes the victory of the United States of America against the Soviet Union. A space race that, thanks to various attempts and investments in space programs, the United States of America, they managed to be the first to set foot on the moon. Postage stamp issued on July 20, 1994. It had a circulation of 100 million copies, with a 10.8 by 11 perforation. Today a sheet containing 20 of these pieces. It's worth $675.